Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll be talking about a new story in Norse mythology. So, let's go. The world of Norse mythology is a strange world. Asgard, the home of the gods, is unlike any other heaven men have dreamed of. No radiancy of joy is in it, no assurance of bliss. It is a grave and solemn place, over which hangs the threat of an inevitable doom. The gods know that a day will come when they will be destroyed. Sometime they will meet their enemies and go down beneath them to defeat and death. Asgard will fall in ruins. The forces of good are fighting to defend against the forces of evil is hopeless. Nevertheless, the gods will fight for it to the end. The gods are helpless before evil. Men and women must be more so. The heroes and heroines of the early stories face disaster. They know that they can't save themselves, not by any courage or endurance or great deed. Even so, they do not yield. They die resisting. A brave death entitles them, at least the heroes, to a seat in Valhalla, one of the halls in Asgard. But there too, they must look forward to final defeat and destruction. In the last battle between good and evil, they will fight on the side of the gods and die with them. Norse mythology depicts a grim world where gods face inevitable doom in Asgard. Despite knowing their end, they fight on, mirroring humanity's struggle against evil. Heroism, even in defeat, is the ultimate virtue. This worldview, akin to early Christianity, values courage over triumph. The Icelandic Eddas preserve this ethos, offering a glimpse into a culture shaped by tragic tales of heroism. Nevertheless, the somber grandeur of the stories comes through in spite of the style. Perhaps no one should speak of this style who cannot read ancient Norse, but all the translations are so alike in being singularly awkward and involved that one cannot but suspect of being responsible, at least in part. The poets of the Elder Edda seem to have had conceptions greater than their skill to put them into words. Many of the stories are splendid. There are none to equal them in Greek mythology, except those retold by the tragic poets. All the best northern tales are tragic, about men and women who go steadfastly forward to meet death, often deliberately choose it, even plan it along beforehand. The only light in the darkness is heroism. This is a Norse mythology story entitled The Stories of Signy and Sigurd. Signy was the daughter of Volsing. Her husband slew Volsung by treachery and captured his sons. One by one, he chained them at night to where the wolves would find them and devour them. When the last, who was Sigmund, was brought out unchained, Signy devised a plan to save her brother Sigmund from the treacherous who slew their father. She bore Sigmund's son, Sinfjotli, and nursed a burning desire for vengeance against their enemy. Signy, living with her husband, concealed her true intentions while secretly aiding Sigmund's plot for retribution. On the other hand, Sigurd, son of Sigmund, proved his valor by braving flames to awaken Brynhild, a Valkyrie punished by Odin. Despite his heroic deed, Sigurd fell victim to manipulation and forgot Brynhild after marrying Gudrun. Deceived by a magical potion, Sigurd unknowingly betrayed Brynhild, leading to resentment and thirst for revenge. Brynhild, believing Sigurd was faithless, married Gunnar, Sigurd's brother-in-law, but when she learned the truth, she sought vengeance, unable to kill Sigurd herself due to their bond of brotherhood. Gunnar persuaded his younger brother to slay Sigurd in his sleep. Gudrun awoke to the gruesome sight of her husband's blood, marking the tragic end of the intertwined fates of Sigurd, Brynhild, and their kin. Then Brynhild laughed, only once, with all her heart, when she heard the wail of Gudrun. But although, or because, she brought about his death, she will not live when Sigurd is dead, she says to her husband. One alone of all I loved, I never had a changing heart. She tells him that Sigurd had not been false to his oath when he rode through the fiery ring to win her for Gunnar. In one bed together we slept, as if he had been my brother. Ever with grief and all too long, are men and women born in the world. She kills herself, praying that her body shall be laid on the funeral pyre with Sigurd's. Beside his body Gudrun sits in silence. She cannot speak, she cannot weep. They fear that her heart will break unless she can find relief. And one by one the women tell her of their own grief, the bitterest pain each had ever borne. Husband, daughters, sisters, brothers. One says, all were taken from me, and still I live. Yet for her grief Gudrun could not weep. So hard was her heart by the hero's body. My seven sons fell in the southern land, another says, and my husband too, all 8 in battle. I decked with my own hands the bodies of the grave. 1/2 year brought me to despair, and no one came to comfort me. Yet for her grief Gudrun could not weep. So hard was her heart by the hero's body. Then one wiser than the rest lifts the shroud from the dead. She laid his well-loved head on the knees of his wife. Look on him, thou loved, and press thy lips to his as if he still were living. Only once did Gudrun look. She saw his hair all clotted with blood, his blinded eyes that had been so bright. Then she bent and bowed her head, and her tears ran down like drops of rain. Such are the early Norse stories. Man is born to sorrow as the sparks fly upward. To live is to suffer, and the only solution to the problem of life is to suffer with courage. Sigurd, on his way to Brynhild the first time, meets a wise man and asks him what his fate shall be. Hide nothing from me, however hard, the wise man answers. Thou knowest that I will not lie. Never shalt thou be stained by baseness. Yet a day of doom shall come upon thee, a day of wrath and a day of anguish. But ever remember, ruler of men, that fortune lies in the hero's life, and the nobler man shall never live beneath the sun than Sigurd. And that is the story of Signy and Sigurd, and I hope that you have enjoyed listening to their story, and I'll see you to the next video. Bye bye.